ACC 313. Tax Laws and Cases. Study Session 1. Structure of the Nigerian Tax System. Introduction. This unit is designed to give an insight into the structure of the Nigerian tax system and the types of taxes and levies collectible by each tier of government. By the end of the unit, you should have an overall view of the tripartite arrangement of the Nigerian tax system and also an idea of the taxes and levies collected by each tier of government. Structure of the Nigerian tax system. The Nigerian tax system is a tripartite arrangement involving tax policy, tax law, and tax administration. It thus encompasses the government's tax initiatives, tax programs, and tax institutions and the various rules, regulations, statutes and edicts, etc. that underlie the nation's tax culture and practices. Taxes and levies collectible by each tier of government. The taxes and levies that are legally collectible by each of these tiers of government are stated as follows. The following are taxes collectible by the federal government. 1. Companies income tax. 2. Withholding tax on companies. 3. Petroleum profits tax. 4. Value-added tax. 5. Education tax. 6. Capital gains tax Abuja residents and corporate bodies. 7. Stamp duties involving a corporate entity. 8. Personal income tax in respect of armed forces, police, residents of Abuja FCT, external affairs, and non-residents. Taxes or levies collectible by state governments. 1. Personal income tax, pay-as-you-earn, direct assessment, withholding tax. 2. Capital gains tax. 3. Stamp duties. 4. Pools betting and lotteries, jamming, and casino taxes. 5. Road taxes. 6. Business premises registration and renewal levy. 7. Development levy not more than 100 nairas per annum on each taxable individual. 8. Naming of street registration fee in state capitals. 9. Right of occupancy fee on lands owned by the state government in urban areas of the state. 10. Markets where states' finances are involved. Taxes or levies collectible by local governments. The taxes or levies collectible by local governments are as follows. 1. Shops and kiosks rates. 2. Tenement rates. 3. On and off liquor license. 4. Slaughter slab fees. 5. Marriage, birth, and death registration fees. 6. Naming of street registration fees. 7. Right of occupancy fees. 8. Market or motor park fees. 9. Domestic animal license. 10. Bicycle, truck, canoe, wheelbarrow, and cart fees other than mechanically propelled trucks. 11. Cattle subheading. Summary of Study Session 1. In this study session, please note the following. 1. The Nigerian tax system is a tripartite arrangement encompassing tax policy, tax law, and tax administration. 2. Nigeria operates a federal system of government, in which each of the three tiers of government, namely the federal government, state governments, and local governments have separate tax jurisdictions, which clearly stipulate the taxes and levies collectible by each of them. Study Session 2. Introduction to the development of the Nigerian tax legislation. Introduction. The Nigerian tax legislation has evolved over time beginning with the colonial era when in 1904, the British High Commissioner, Lord Lugard introduced the modern system of taxation to the northern part of Nigeria. Nigerian tax legislations. The main taxing statutes or acts in force in Nigeria are 1. Personal Income Tax Act 2004. 2. Companies Income Tax Act 2004. 3. Petroleum Profit Tax Act 2004. 4. Capital Gain Tax Act 2004. 5. Value-Added Tax Act 2004. 6. Education Tax Act 2004. 7. Stamp Duties Act 2004. Summary of Study Session 2. In this study session, please note the following. 1. The history of the modern form of tax laws in Nigeria can be traced to the colonial era when in 1904 the late Lord Lugard introduced income tax through the Insurance of the Land Revenue Proclamation No. 4 of 1904 to the northern part of the country. 2. There are different tax statutes authorizing the imposition of the various types of taxes in Nigeria. 3. There are amendments made to date of various taxing statutes in Nigeria. 4. The Nigerian tax legislation has evolved from the colonial era to date. We have also enumerated the various tax acts in Nigeria and the amendment made thereto from when they were introduced to date. No doubt, this will enable readers to appreciate the development of the Nigerian tax legislation. Study Session 3. Introduction to Tax Administration in Nigeria. Introduction. Tax administration is the nucleus of any tax system because every system revolves around it. Tax administration is the framework established by statute to ensure that the purpose, scope, and objectives of a tax policy are achieved. Individuals are taxed by the federal government. 1. Member of the armed forces. 2. Members of the police force. 3. Foreign affairs personnel. 4. Residents of the FCT. 5. Non-residents individual, armed forces, FCT inhabitant, foreign affairs official belong to federal while other residents in a state are being administered by the respective state. Tax administrative bodies at federal and state tiers. At the federal, we have Federal Inland Revenue Service and it's responsible for the administration of taxes and levies due to federation as well as the federal government. At the states level, we have State Internal Revenue Board while some of the states boards that are autonomous are now called State Internal Revenue Service, for example, Lagos State Internal Revenue Service. Institutions responsible for tax administration. The government has established various administrative bodies at the federal, state, and local government levels responsible for raising assessment and accounting for taxes due to these tiers of government. The bodies are 1. Federal Inland Revenue Service Board. 2. Federal Inland Revenue Service. 3. Technical Committee to the FERS Management Board. 4. State Internal Revenue Board. 5. Joint Tax Board. 6. Local Government Revenue Committee. 7. Joint State Revenue Committee. 8. Tax Appeal Tribunal. FIRS Board. Section 1 to 6 of the FERS Establishment Act made detailed provisions on the establishment of the FIRS, the objects of the service, establishment, and composition of the board, tenure of office, cessation of membership, and emoluments of members amongst others. Members of the board. 1. An executive chairman of the service who shall be experienced in the taxation of chairman of the service to be appointed by the President and subject to the confirmation of the Senate. 2. 6 members with relevant qualifications and expertise shall be appointed by the President to represent each of the 6 geopolitical zones. 3. A representative of the Attorney General of the Federation. 4. The Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria or his representative. 5. A representative of the Minister of Finance not below the rank of a director. 6. The Chairman of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission or his representative shall be any of the commissioners representing the 36 states of the Federation. Please note that the following laws have been introduced. 1. Executive Chairman of the service to be appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate. 2. One more institution, that is the Central Bank of Nigeria, is added to the composition. 3. Institutional representatives or ex officio members serve at the pleasure of their organizations. 4. The board is not to interfere with the day-to-day functions of the service. Local Government Revenue Committee. This body was established under ITM 61. The operational arm committee is this committee is the local government treasury. The membership of this committee is as follows. 1. The Supervisor Counselor for Finance as the chairman. 2. 3 local government counselors as members. 3. 2 other members experienced in revenue matters to be nominated by the chairman of the local government on their perusal merit. Joint State Revenue Committee. Section 85 of the Personal Income Tax Decree 1993 established for each state of the Federation a Joint State Revenue Committee which shall comprise 1. The chairman of the State Internal Revenue Service as the chairman. 2. The chairman of the Local Government Revenue Committee. 3. The State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Commission as an observer. 4. The legal advisor of the State Internal Revenue Service. 5. Secretary to the committee shall be approved by the State Internal Revenue Service. Power and duties of the Joint State Revenue Committee. Section 85 of the Personal Income Tax Act 1993 provides that the function shall be to 1. Implement the decision of the Joint Tax Board. 2. Advise the Joint Tax Board in state or local on revenue matters. 3. Harmonize tax administration in the state. 4. Enlighten members of the general public on revenue matters. 5. Carry out such other functions as may be assigned to it by the Joint Tax Board. Tax Appeal Tribunal. As provided in Section 59 of the FIRS Act, there is established a TAT, which shall have the power to settle disputes arising from the operation of the Act, and its members shall be appointed by the Minister of Finance. Below are some highlights of the provisions of the Fifth Schedule to the Act. Composition of the Tribunal. 1. A tribunal shall consist of 5 members to be appointed by the Minister, and such members shall be called Tax Appeal Commissioner. 2. A chairman for each zone, who shall be a legal practitioner of not less than 15 years' experience in tax matters. 3. A chairman shall preside at every sitting, however, in his absences, other members shall appoint one of them to be chairman. 4. The quorum at any sitting of the tribunal shall be 3 members. Summary of Study Session 3. In this study session, please note the following. 1. Taxation involves the extraction of some amount of money by relevant tax authority from the taxpayer as its contribution to the running of government. 2. In the course of carrying out this process, some administrative challenges are encountered, hence some bodies have to be set up to deal with these challenges with a view to ensuring that taxes are paid as and when due. 3. The TAT has been set up to settle disputes and controversies that may arise from the various tax laws. Study Session 4. Determination of responsibility to pay tax. Introduction. This unit is designed to give you an insight into the responsibility of citizens to pay taxes. At the end of this unit, you would have been exposed critically to issues surrounding the topic. Determination of responsibility of pay tax. Background. Tax is one of the ways to finance government expenditures, and it plays an important role in increasing government revenue. The amount of tax collected depends on the structure of the economy. When the taxation system is ineffective, many people will use this opportunity to avoid paying taxes, and tax evasion will be popular. The payment of tax is a civic duty and an imposed contribution by the government on her subjects and companies to enable her to finance or run public utilities and perform other social responsibilities. Tax evasion versus tax avoidance. Tax evasion can be defined as the deliberate effort by individuals, companies, trusts, and other entities to evade tax by illegal means. Responsibility of the taxpayer. The following are some of the responsibilities of a taxpayer. 1. The responsibility to be honest. 2. The responsibility to provide accurate information. 3. The responsibility to provide accurate information. 4. The responsibility to pay taxes on time. 5. The responsibility to be courteous. Summary of Study Session 4. In Study Session 4, you have learned that 1. Paying tax is both a civic responsibility and constitutional responsibility. 2. Failure to pay tax by fraudulent means is called tax evasion, which is a criminal offense. 3. Taxpayers have several responsibilities which can be summarized as honesty, accuracy, timeliness, record-keeping, and courtesy. 4. It is the duty of every citizen to pay his or her taxes when they fall due. This is so not just because it is a civic responsibility but because the law also backs it. 5. Taxes are important sources of revenue to the government so as to enable them to carry out their duties properly, and failure by any citizen to pay tax is a criminal offense. Study Session 5. Tax Practice and Professional Ethics. Introduction. This unit introduces you to tax practice and professional ethics. You will be introduced to tax practice in Nigeria, tax practice and CITN approval to engage in tax practice. Tax practice in Nigeria. Tax practice in Nigeria is regulated by the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, known as CITN Act No. 76 of 1992. By this act, members of CITN can be tax practitioners and tax administrators. Tax practice and CITN approval to practice. The power to practice tax in Nigeria is granted by the Act of CITN. The CITN has a disciplinary tribunal and the investigative panel which deals with cases of professional misconduct by any member of the institute. The procedure is that any form of misconduct likely to damage the reputation of the institute or the profession shall be referred to the investigation panel, which investigates the allegation, and where necessary refer such case to the disciplinary tribunal. Conditions precedent for tax practice. Tax practice conditions as approved by CITN must be fulfilled before a member of CITN is eligible for a license to practice as a chartered tax practitioner. 1. The intending member must have acquired tax experience continuously for a period of 36 months. 2. The intending tax practitioner must have been a partner or consultant in a firm of chartered tax practitioners. 3. The intending tax practitioner must have been a partner in a firm of chartered accountants which engages in tax practice. 4. A practicing member must have a purchase seal from the CITN and a set of pre-membered stamps which shall be placed on all reports. 5. A tax practitioner is expected to renew the practicing license yearly. Removal from CITN membership register. A member of the institute may be liable to be removed or suspended from membership by council where he or she 1. Violates the fundamental rules of the institute applicable to him or her. 2. Is convicted of felony or misdemeanor. 3. Is finally declared by a court of competent jurisdictions to have committed fraud. 4. Has been found guilty of any act of default discreditable to CITN. 5. Is adjudged bankrupt. 6. Has failed to satisfy a judgment debt. 7. Is declared lunatic. 8. Willfully commits any breach of the regulation of the institute. 9. Has failed to pay any subscription or any other sum payable by him/her for 6 months after same shall have become due. 10. Has failed to participate in the mandatory professional training program of the institute. Enlarged Code of Professional Ethics in Tax Practice. The Code of Ethics of any profession is a body of rules, which guide the members against any misconduct. This code or fundamental principles expected to be observed by the tax practitioner and administrator include 1. Integrity. 2. Objectivity. 3. Professional competence and due care. 4. Confidentiality. 5. Professional behavior. Some ethical issues in tax practice and administration. Ethical issues in tax practice and administration or any other profession border on how rightly or wrongly a tax professional or administrator are in possession of information regarding his or her client are essential in discharging professional service to clients and society at large. Therefore, professional ethics go a long way in ensuring that 1. Reliable professional work is carried out. 2. Tax revenues entrusted to the government are properly utilized for the benefit of all the citizens. 3. Provision of consideration relevant to the task toward the proper reporting of tax revenue. Dealing with professional ethical dilemmas in tax practice. While ultimately, the Chartered Institution of Taxation of Nigeria, through its investigative panel and disciplinary tribunal, has a procedure for dealing with any infractions or breaches in the ethical code, tax professionals are expected to keep within the ambit of the spirit and letter of the code. In addition, a tax expert should consider either individually or with other professionals, the following in a case or transaction. 1. Relevant facts. 2. Ethical issues involved. 3. Fundamental principles related to the case or transaction. 4. Established internal procedures. 5. Alternative courses. Summary of Study Session 5. In this study session, please note the following. 1. CITN members regulate tax practices in Nigeria. 2. The ethical codes in tax practice clearly state qualification and disqualification for membership. 3. Some ethical issues occur when the tax practitioner, more especially in tax administration, is involved. 4. Dealing with some ethical dilemmas involves a consideration of all issues surrounding a case and determination of the appropriate course of action with further consultation of other professionals for help. 5. Tax practice and professional ethics cannot be separated if tax revenue to the government can be maximized and tax collection made ethically. It is also expected that reliable professional work will be carried out as well as utilizing tax revenue so collected.